our next speaker tonight, we have sort of another exciting celebration. Today is Lisa's 19th year since she joined Toastmasters. Literally today.
Oh, wow. We have a good memory.
Lisa first.
Toastmasters.org.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Remember that.
Lisa joined her first Toastmasters club at Chase Bank, where she worked here in the Valley.
Tempe.
In Tempe. She has been a member of 6 clubs during this time. She belonged to Australia. No. Toastmasters, where she lived on the west side of town for 9 years, which is her longest. But Valued Voices will soon succeed that and is a close second with 8.5 years.
Yes, go, go, go.
Lisa has served as a club officer 12 times and area director 2 times. She received her first DTM in 2014 and is working on her second one. And for our new members, a DTM means Distinguished Toastmaster. It is the highest recognition and a massive deal, and we encourage everybody to work towards one. I am looking at our new members as I say that. Got my eye on you, Sarah. Please help me welcome Lisa Pozzoni with Hi, I'm Lisa, a Toastmasterholic.
We're all hooked up.
That's right. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a Toastmasterholic.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank
I
you.
haven't been to one in a long time.
Literally, when I realized that I was going to be speaking on Thursday, when I was told, and that when I went into Toastmasters.org to put some facts together for the speech, I didn't have any idea that today was actually literally my 19th anniversary. And I can't believe, I remember the day I was in my boss's office, loved my boss, and I was doing pretty good already as a manager at Chase, but I started doing more training and she wanted me to go pick up my communication skills. And you know, I thought, we're founding the club. There were 8 people. Somehow, like 2 months into it, I become the president. And unfortunately, within a year, I got laid off. So it was a very short history at Chase. And I moved to the west side of town, and that's when I joined Estrella Toastmasters. And, you know, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to keep going, but I thought, let me just try a new club, see what happens. And during that time, I connected with amazing people there, started working on my DTM, I attended some contests. But you know, during that time, there were always moments where you're like, I don't have time to do this anymore. You know, kind of going back to not giving up, right? Like there were so many times that I was like, I don't know, why am I doing this? It's helping me a ton. But I just kept going to Toastmasters and fully enjoying it. Of course, then at one point I meet Greg at a Toastmaster meeting, so you know, that was a nice bonus for me. But when we moved to the east side of town, we both were really knee-deep in Toastmasters, you know, really loving it at this point. And we started shopping for clubs. I don't know, has anybody ever had to shop for clubs before? Like when you move, right? You had to when you moved. So you move and you start, you know, we went to a couple of different clubs and we came to Valued Voices. And I think it was during that time, like I was having these memories as I was putting this together of like, yeah, we were at a point where there was like, it almost didn't happen. There were like 8 to 10 people. And somehow, I don't remember, but everybody was so welcoming, like Gail and Lee and Rob. I'm trying to think about who some of the other people were at the time. It wasn't that many. I think Paul came after when we were there already. But I had met Paul, I think, from, you know, contests and seen him before. But so at that point, again, I think we all worked our tails off, right? Like I remember, I think of those 12 times I was an officer, most of them were all with Valued Voices, right? I did president, no, I actually was never president, you know, VP of Education, did several, and I just remember when the pandemic hit, you know, I started kind of worrying, like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen to our club? But in the meantime, right, after you've been an officer for a while, and some of you can probably relate, like it's just time to take a little break and let other people, you know, you want other people to learn some leadership skills. And I just can't enough say how much, like, that transition to Zoom was amazing. I mean, we have our actual district Zoom master over here, right? Like, And I remember, you know, we were playing around, right? Like you guys put so much work into making sure those Zoom calls would happen with the evaluations, and you know, those are we're still working on getting some of these things. You know, we had a Zoom bomber the other day, and even with that, when I got your email, like seriously, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it was a funny thing, but it also was not really funny. And the fact that you went through all of that, you know, for the club and to protect the club and all of that, like, I just can't say enough. Like, I say I'm a lifer. I don't ever foresee leaving Toastmasters because I get so much out of it, whether it's the communication and the leadership skills, but truly the people that you get to meet is really what it boils down to. So even though I may not have a 12-step program to keep you from being a Toastmaster-holic, I could highly suggest to you and see who wants to join me in being a Toastmaster for life and valued voices. Who's in? Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.